Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, and this is just a little bit of an editor's note. I didn't plan on releasing this video as early as I am, but I kind of figured, with the fact that I just noticed we have finally hit 100 subscribers, I kind of figured I'll toss this out. Thank you guys for getting me up to 100 subs and, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can keep the rise going. Let's get up to 150, 200. I would love to see the channel rise up and get to more viewers. But before I keep rambling on and end up making this too long, let's get into the action figure review you guys came for today. A little bit of a retro review, shall we say. Hello everyone, Derek Stam Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today we've got an eBay pickup and a pretty unique looking package too. I've never really seen one like this before. As you can see, I covered up the name and shit, so I don't really think you should be able to find that information out, and if I really feel necessary, I'll just edit that part of the video out. But yeah, kind of a unique package scenario here, so I kind of want to open it up, maybe kind of like we did the cards the other night. It's taped on the back, so I don't know how easily I'm gonna open this on camera, but I'm gonna try. Something I don't normally do is open the shiznit on camera. And I really hope that it's not just cardboard protecting the figure on the inside of this, because that's gonna be a big weird issue. Oh, it's not, thankfully. So we've still got one more layer to get past, and I don't know if you can tell by the boots what this figure is, but this is a figure that I've been very excited about the past, I don't know, 5 days maybe. I can't exactly remember when I made the purchase for this on eBay, but I got this fairly cheap, honestly, and I think this figure is worth way more than that, but I guess we'll have to test the conditioning of the figure itself once we get it out of its bubble wrap and just kind of figure everything out. See if I can get him to stand. There we go. So if you guys couldn't tell who this is, or just what series this may even be from, there we go. I think that's a little bit of a better stance for right now. This is the Then, Now, and Forever Tyler Breeze Elite, and he may not be as popular nowadays, because I can't say he wrestles too often, if at all, nowadays. I don't know, as I don't watch any of his modern matches. If he does, feel free to let me know in the comments if you know if he's actually had a wrestling match recently. But I saw this on eBay. I want to say it cost me $12 total after tax and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, that's a really decent deal. I want to say there was a couple of them on there going for $20. And mind you, that was before tax and shipping and stuff like that. Some of them didn't even come with the accessories at all. This one comes with his selfie stick and his fur jacket, which we'll take a little bit more of an in-depth look here in a second. But let's just take a closer look at the figure, and just looking at the detail is pretty nice. I think I see a little bit of dirt smudges down here on the tassels, but I also could just be seeing I don't know. I could just be seeing some stupid shish up in the light. Honestly, it actually all looks pretty good, not on camera. I don't know, it just looked a little darker to me on camera. Maybe that's because of the shadow of the camera itself. And the jacket itself as well also looks pretty decent. I don't really see any smudges or like paint issues with this figure, except for like over here on the wrist. There's a little bit of paint smudge, but you know, that ain't the worst deal. Let's get the jacket off and take a look at the rest of the figure without the jacket on. So, before we look at the figure, I just wanted to point out after I took the jacket off, there is a little bit of like smudging on the inside of the jacket. Some of it came off, but some of it's still sticking there, so I might just take like a disinfectant wipe or something and just wipe down the inside of the jacket. But other than that though, everything else is looking like really clean. Here's a close-up look at the selfie stick, which cool camera angles could come with that, especially if I do end up using Tyler Breeze in the pic fed. Now, getting a closer look up at the figure without the jacket on, I can definitely say one thing. The torso, the arms, they all look clean. Like there's no black smudges or anything, especially like from the inside of the jacket really. Like there's a tiny little smudge right there, but that might come, I was about to say that might just come right off. I don't know, it might not really be the biggest ordeal as far as smudges, because the smudges may not even really be smudges, but it could just be like little dirt material or whatever building up on the figure. And taking a nice look at the head sculpt, honestly the head sculpt is really clean as well. I'm definitely happy to say I picked this up for the price it was at, because in all honesty, this figure definitely seemed like it was going to be hard to find, at least for a really like cheap deal. And if you know me, I'm always looking for decent deals, especially if I can find them on eBay. And as far as posability, we'll get into that here in a second, but from the little bit of movement I have just kind of given it, the figure still feels pretty like stiff, which is always a good thing. It doesn't feel overly stiff, and it's not loose either. And with that being said, the head can rotate 360. It can look down about that far. The head scan doesn't necessarily look up as well as it does down, but as long as I can get the straight face like pose up in there, that's all that matters to me. It's got a pretty decent little ab crunch there. Of course, it doesn't bend that far back. That's as far as it goes. The arm, of course, bends up from the shoulder. The shoulder can rotate 360. The upper bicep has swivel to it. Got bend in the elbow. Just a single joint though. This is before we started getting the double joints. If you're, curious as to how old this figure realistically is, it's fairly old. And for the quality and condition it is in, pretty immaculate. Oh, I just noticed there's a little like black smudge on the inside of the hand, but not the biggest deal, His legs are pretty good. They can kick up about that far. Kick out pretty damn good. Can get a nice little super kick, as you should be able to out of a Tyler Breeze. He's got a double bend in the knee because he's not a basic, so of course he gets the double bend in the knee. You've got the upper thigh swivel, which isn't too like stiff but not too loose either. Like I can actually kind of move that comfortably with one hand, and not the biggest ordeal. He's got the upper boot rotation, which may be hard to see because of the tassels, but it is there. It's not like AEW where they probably would have cheaped out on that. And actually, I think this one tassel is backwards. Yeah, the one tassel is actually backwards. But quick, simple little fix. Of course, there's ankle bends and stuff like that too, but I'm a little scared to bend the ankle because I don't know if it'll be one of the figures where it's stiff and then just all of a sudden it just decides that, yeah, you know, we're gonna be loose as a goose. But with that being said, why don't we get into the final pose and the final thoughts about this figure? Alrighty, well, the final pose kind of took me a minute to set up. The selfie stick is a little odd in the hand. I couldn't really figure out a good way to pose the selfie stick. I'm just assuming with the way I'll eventually, essentially be doing the selfie stick is I'll just kind of like mimic the idea of the phone if I do like up close shots. And we'll obviously pose the hand accordingly. But I feel like I could really make some use out of Tyler Breeze and the pick fed. Maybe let me know what your guys' thoughts and ideas would be on that. Would you like to see Tyler Breeze become a future Intercontinental Champion on Damn Defiant Wrestling? Would you maybe like to see him become a future United States Champion? Maybe even a future Tag Team or World Champion? The possibilities are pretty much like infinite there on what I could do with them. It would just depend on the right storyline and stuff like that. But overall, what would I rate this figure? You know, going based off of the time it would have been released and stuff like that, I don't want to take into account the like double jointed arms and stuff of that nature that we could have gotten on this figure. So overall, I think for its time, it's definitely a good solid 8 out of 10, or a good solid, I'd say, 3.5 or 3.8, maybe even 4 out of 5 stars. It just all depends on how you feel about like the posability with the selfie stick and stuff like that. It doesn't really bother me. There's ways I can work around it. It's just more or less... Sorry, I'm a little tired. I'm getting prepared to maybe take a nap before work tonight. I don't know just yet. But it just all depends on what like the storyline and stuff would call for on the figure, going based off the usage. And as far as the figure looks itself, it's almost a damn near perfect figure. If anything, for me, I just wish it had double jointed arms and the interchangeable hands. But I mean, worst case scenario, maybe I can find a way around that. Probably not, though. But on that note, like the video if you liked the video. If you didn't, it doesn't really bother me too much. Subscribe for future action figure reviews and or pick fed related content. And on that note, maybe go follow the Instagram and or the TikTok. I might be able to manage my phone storage enough to actually keep TikTok on my phone. And other than that, maybe go follow the Instagram. I don't know, I'm kind of losing my train of thought for whatever reason. So we are out of here. Peace, yo.